Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we have an amazing guest for you guys. His name is Kevin, and his transformation caught my eye on the web. He has had a huge transformation on juicing and raw living foods, giving up cooked food. And at the beginning of the year, he started doing juicing only, and it totally transformed his life. And I know he was diabetic before and had some other health problems, and we will find out what happened. So, hey Kevin, how's it going? Thanks for coming on.
Hey, Gillian, how are you?
I'm amazing. I'm so happy to interview you today. And it's nice to do Zoom. I was just in Miami doing in person, but I like to do Zoom too. It's fun. So it's great to have you on.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. So take us back. What happened? The beginning of the year, I think you started doing a juice only cleanse or juice only diet for a period of time. So what led you to that? What kind of health problems were you having? And what sparked your interest in starting juicing?
Okay, well, I give you a little background. I got into juicing maybe about, I guess, 2014, 2015, after watching Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead. Got into it a little bit. I would start, stop, and just never was consistent with it. In 2016, I went through a divorce,
Wow.
and during that time, gained a whole lot of weight, just allowed my health to just go down. During the pandemic, maybe in 2021, I believe, just I had gained so much weight, started having health issues. I went to my doctor to see what was going on. They told me at the time I was pre-diabetic. And I heard it, but I was like, I can fix it. Well, after a year later, my doctor was telling me like, hey, if you don't get this under control, you're gonna have some major issues in life. And I decided that, hey, it's time to make a change. So in 2022, I started listening to your channel, listening to your guests. I found Shane on YouTube, got in his group, found a couple of other people, and just started studying you guys. And
Wow.
it wasn't an overnight thing for me, but the first thing I had to do during this process was really to renew my mind. I know a lot of times people would jump into it and say, hey, I can do this overnight. That wasn't for me. I had to change my mind first. Once my mind changed, then I felt my body could change. So
Hmm.
after renewing my mind by listening to you and your guests, listening to Shane, I also have another lady that I listen to a lot, and she became like a mentor to me. Her name is Medina Henry, and she talked a lot about raw food. She talked a lot about just the vegan lifestyle, about just changing your life. But she would always come back to me and ask me, what's your why? Why do you want to do this? Why do you want to change your life? And for me, I have four daughters. I don't have any sons, only four daughters. So my why was I want to be able to walk my daughters down the aisle one day when they get married. I want to be able to dance with them at their wedding. I want to be able to enjoy my grandchildren, even though I don't have grandchildren now, but I want to be able to enjoy my grandchildren. So that was my why. And because that was my why, I changed my mindset and decided to change my health.
Wow. Amazing. Incredible. I love that. It's so important to have the why. I hear Shane talk about that a lot too in the group. And it's important to have the connection and the community and the support too. I feel like, especially in a world where a lot of people don't eat this way and they're not eating raw or juice fasting. So I'll put the link to that group down below. I've been in that group too since 2019, and it's changed
Yeah.
my life. I joined it when my like world fell apart, and it's helped me a lot. So what happened when you started juicing? Was it hard to, I know in Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead, and I know a lot of cases when people first start juicing, they feel like absolute crap for the first little while. Was that the case for you, or did you feel good right off the bat?
I did feel like crap in the beginning. So for me, my journey, or let me just say this, I got serious January 1st of this year. I was going back and forth with juicing last year, going back and forth with eating raw foods. But this year, January 1st, I made up in my mind and I said, I'm going to do this. No holding back, no stopping. I'm going to do this. So right before January 1st, I want to bring this up. I was going through a lot of personal stuff. I was in a 4-year relationship that had just ended, a couple of other things that I was going through. And I wanted to really change my life. And
Yeah.
in December, one day I said, you know what? Going into 2023, I'm going to be a different person. I'm going to be a new person. And that was my focus. So January 1st, I jumped on a juice fast, or I say a fast and a cleanse. The cleanse because it was cleansing a lot of stuff out of me, not just my body, but cleansing my mind,
Hmm.
cleansing the way I think about things, just a cleanse in general. So January 1st, I said, hey, I'm going to do this. and I did it with no looking back.
Wow, what a perfect time of year to start too. I feel like it's just such
Yeah,
a good time.
yeah,
And it's funny you say about the mind because I feel like that's been the biggest transformation I've had with juicing and going to 100% raw living foods diet. That's
yeah,
what's made me feel that's just the biggest thing that stands out for the changes for me. Yeah, there's like amazing physical bonuses and changes and transformations that are healthy and make us look good and feel good. But the mind is just the biggest thing. Like, I feel so much happier, and when I first went raw, I felt like my true self for the first time, and
mhm.
nothing on the planet compares to me feeling like my true self and happier. So, did you notice, like, you felt happier and, like, you noticed a big difference in how you felt doing the juicing and raw foods as far as your happiness goes versus how you felt on the cooked food and how you ate before? And how did you eat before?
Yeah. Oh God, how did I eat before? It was horrible. I ate everything, everything in sight, all the meats, everything. But to answer your question, when I started juicing, maybe the first I say 3 or 4 days was really bad for me, and I heard a lot of people say that's because your body is detoxing during that time, so it was really bad. But I say maybe day 5 or 6, out of nowhere, it's like I got energy. But I kept stuff before me, and when I say I kept stuff before me, I kept my goals before me. I knew
Mhm.
I wanted to lose weight. I knew I wanted to get healthy. And even when I felt like giving up, I would always go back to my why. I would always going back to, just seeing myself healthy.
Mhm.
And for me, at my highest weight, I was about 309.
Wow.
And I told myself, I said, listen, I could see myself at 200 pounds, even though I was far from it. But I told myself I could see myself at 200 pounds. So every day during my juice fast throughout the month of January and February and part of March, I would see myself reaching my goal weight. And of course, the pounds was coming off. I was walking every day. Got to a point to where I just enjoyed juice. I mean, all the green juice. I started making up juice. I started going to different sites on YouTube, looking at people make juice, and just got to a place to where I can just enjoy juice. So juice was my life for about 2.5 months.
Amazing, and what was your protocol? Like, how much did you drink in a day? What did a day in the life look like for you? Because a lot of people think, like, you don't have enough energy juicing and things like that, so were you still, like, working and active in your life and you felt like you were energized, right?
Yeah, yeah, I was still working. To be honest with you, I didn't have a protocol as far as I hear some people say they would drink maybe 4 to 6 ounces of juice, well, not 4 to 6 ounces. I'm sorry. They may say I've heard somebody tell me one time that I think they were drinking about maybe 64 ounces of juice a day. To be
Yeah.
honest with you, I don't know. I feel like if I needed juice at that moment, I drink juice. If I got hungry, I drink juice. So I can't say that I was drinking up to 64 ounces a day because some days it was 64, some days it was 72, and some days it could have been maybe about 48 ounces.
Mhm.
So it all varies. But one thing I did do, I drank a lot of water during that time as well. So, I guess it would depend on, you know, my mood.
Mhm.
If I felt hungry, I would drink, but, I didn't have no set amount of juice that I would drink a day.
Yeah, and I think yeah, that's good. Same here, but I drink a lot when I juice. I drink, like, at least, like, 8 of
Hmm.
these. I drink a lot, but I know most
Yeah.
people are like, they drink, like, 4 32-ounce, but okay, so what would you say were the main benefits you noticed when you did this? Like, what were all the changes?
Number one, weight loss.
Mhm.
That was number one. Number one, weight loss. Number two, sleeping better. Before I started juicing, I was never diagnosed with sleep apnea, but I do believe that at some point in my life, I may have had it. And one reason I say that because of the heavy snoring, waking up in the middle of the night several times trying to catch my breath. And I was too afraid to ask the doctor to give me a sleep test because I don't
Wow.
want to hear any bad news.
Yeah.
So during that time, I say maybe after about 2 or 3 weeks, when I started the juice fast in January, I started sleeping through the night. I didn't have to wake up through the night. I felt and wasn't waking up like trying to catch my breath and nothing like that. At one point, I used to go to the bathroom maybe 3 or 4 times, sometimes a night,
Wow.
and all of that stopped. So the body itself just started healing. And this was not according, but this was because of the juice.
Yeah.
It started healing. So Yeah,
Yeah.
real
And
thankful
you
for
were
that.
they said did they so you were diabetic before, right? Or was it actual diabetes or pre-diabetic?
Well, they labeled me as pre-diabetic, but the doctor, because I had got so heavy, he was telling me that, I still want to try to put you on metformin.
Mhm.
Still want to give you, you still need to lose weight. I never took the metformin, and I don't. That's me. I would never tell
Yeah.
nobody not to
No.
listen to that doctor. So don't run with that. But as for me, I decided not to because I felt that the juicing and the raw foods would change my life.
And it did, and I'm so glad.
And
And like you said, it's true. Like everybody has to find what's right for them. If some people
yeah,
don't resonate with juicing or this lifestyle, like I
mm-mm,
mean, I'm all for everybody
mm-mm,
doing what feels best for them. And yeah,
yeah,
checking your blood work, see what's going on. And I'm
yeah.
so glad it's had such positive changes. So then you juiced for 2 months. And then how did you decide it was time to stop? And what did you break the juice fast with? And then lead us into what happened when you went to raw foods.
Yeah, so like I said earlier, I juiced for about 2.5 months. And I hear a lot of people say they did 100 days and 200 days, and I mean that sounds
Mhm.
good. But for me, I didn't want to put a time limit on it. For me, I just felt like once I feel like my body is healing, then I stop and I move into raw foods.
Mhm.
Once I start seeing changes in my body, and at the time, I just knew my body was healed. I didn't go to the doctor until May 25th
Mhm.
of this year, but maybe about March 15th, or I say, yeah, about March 15th, I just knew I felt different. I was looking different. Of
Mhm.
course, the scale was telling me something different, but I just knew my body was healed. And so I stopped juicing for a while and I just got on raw foods and did a lot of salads and then got more into the fruit and just realizing that food at the time was my medicine and still is now. And I told myself that I was going to allow the food, the juicing to heal my body. And when I went to the doctor on May 25th and did blood work, the doctor came back and he was like, man, this is perfect. He was like, your A1C now is like a 5.6, when last year my A1C was like 13.
Wow. I'm so happy for you. That gave me
Yeah,
goosebumps. So
yeah,
incredible. And I think a
yeah,
lot of people think, well, this is crazy. It's so much sugar. It's going to give you diabetes, right? I hear that literally every
no,
day, probably every hour on my social media. But it's funny because
mm,
before this lifestyle, I had blood sugar problems. I was
mm,
hypoglycemic. I would
mm,
pass out, like ask people I went to high school with, I would pass out if I didn't have breakfast. And just my blood sugars were a mess. If I didn't eat, I'd feel like I was going to faint or be so grumpy and like everything was so off. So now it
yeah,
couldn't be farther from the truth. So how amazing is that, right?
yeah, yeah. I hear so many people, especially when it comes to fruit. And if you were diabetic or pre-diabetic, they would always tell you, be careful with the fruit. And for me, I had a lady, she was a mentor of mine as well. She came to me one day and she said, listen, when it comes to fruit, you have nothing to worry about because it's natural. It's from the earth.
Hmm.
And anything from the earth is not going to hurt you. Anything that God created is not going to hurt you. And that changed my mindset. So now when people come to me and they say, well, what about fruit? Because fruit has too much sugar. I always remind them, it's from the earth. It's natural. It's not going to hurt you.
Yeah.
And it didn't hurt me at all.
I love it. So then
Yeah.
even when you got off the juicing and went on the raw foods, clearly your blood work's great. So you still noticed a lot of improvements and benefits, right? Compared to
Yeah.
even on the raw
Yeah.
foods. Yeah.
Even now, I'm still seeing a lot of benefits, still seeing a lot of improvement in my health. I'm not where I want to be, but I'm not where I used to be,
Hmm.
and every day is a change. Every day things are getting better. And actually, on Monday, this past Monday, the 19th of June, I decided to go back on a juice fast. So now I'm on a juice fast again.
Wow.
And,
Amazing.
just wanted to do it, just set some personal goals that I want to see for myself. And so I'm doing it right now.
Yeah.
So enjoying the
Wow.
benefits, just enjoying this time. And I want to say this about the juice fast, and not to get too spiritual, but even during that time when I was on the juice fast, there were a lot of things that was changing in my life. Like I was telling you, going back to renewing your mind. And 2021, 2022 for me was a hard year. They both were hard years for me because of the pandemic. I'm a business owner, so during that time, my business shut down for a while because of the pandemic.
Hmm.
There was some things I needed clarity on, and because of at the time, during 2021 and 2022, I was so clogged up and with pretty much had so much brain fog, I couldn't really
Mhm.
think. When I started juicing and going to the raw foods, it's like all of a sudden I started getting so much revelation from the inside. And there was a guy on Instagram. I decided to get off of social media in January, February, just because I wanted to juice. I wanted to just cleanse myself. And like I was saying earlier, I wasn't just cleansing my mind, I mean, my body, but I was cleansing my mind as well. So during that time, February 25th to be exact, I got on social media after I told myself I wasn't going to do it, but got on social media and this guy had found me. He sent me a private message. He didn't know me from anybody in the world, but he just sent me a private message and he said, in so many words, he said, Kevin, I don't know what you're going through, but right now I see restoration coming to your life. And this guy didn't know me from Adam.
Wow.
And I ran with that. We don't know each other. We weren't Facebook friends or Instagram friends. He just found my page and said that. So during my cleanse, I felt like I was getting just revelation after revelation. And that was even confirmation for me during that time. So from, I say, right at the beginning of April, my business came back.
Wow.
I'm in business again now. Things are looking a lot better. And I credit all of this to going back to the juice fast as well as the raw food. And the reason why I'm crediting the juice and the raw food is because not only did my body change, but my mind changed as well.
So well said. I love that, and the
Yeah,
synchronicities and everything, and it's been the case for me too. There's just so much mental clarity and so much more
yeah,
energy. So I feel like I'm mentally more creative and productive and physically more productive and
yeah,
business is better for me and stuff too.
yeah,
And I do attribute it a lot to like the brain fog being gone and having all
yeah,
that clarity. And sometimes you don't even realize how much brain fog you had until it's lifted. Like, did you notice a big shift with that with the foods? You're like, whoa, my mind, like compared to
yeah,
before, it's crazy, right? It's crazy how those foods can affect us. It's literally like how we're feeding our stomach is how we're feeding our
yeah,
mind, right?
yeah, yeah. And you know, another thing is a buddy of mine asked me recently, what do you miss about food? As far as eating, you know, a lot of meat and things like that. And I told him, to be honest, I don't miss none of it. And the reason I say that, for me, when I would eat heavy, I would get sleepy right away, just
Mm.
didn't have energy for nothing. And I was having digestion issues. It was hard for me to digest food, a lot of acid reflux. And now I'm not having those issues anymore.
So amazing.
And I was like, now I can eat something and not get sleepy,
Yeah.
you
And that's
know?
what it should give us energy, right? The
Yeah,
food we eat, it
yeah,
should make us feel like energized and give us energy.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know, when you eating the right food, food is power, you know, and we have to get to that point to where we can see that food is power, but it's also our medicine, you
Mhm.
know. And for me now, eating raw food has really changed my life. It heals my life, healed my body, but it's really changed my life. Yeah,
Amazing. I love it. I love this story so much. And I know you're juicing right now again, but
yeah.
when you were on the raw foods, like what did a
Mhm.
day look like for you? And are you satisfied on the raw foods or do you feel like a lot of people think, "Oh, it's only salads." Like take us through what you're eating.
Yeah, a lot of my family and some friends who really know me, you know, they didn't understand the journey, still don't understand the journey. Some of them do now, but a lot of them still don't. So of course, you know, you would have people to try to critique you when it comes to food and tell you, you know, but you can't live off of salads forever. You can't live off of fruit forever. People would always ask me, where you getting your protein from? You know, your body needs protein. But for me, you know, I just got to a place to where the only opinion I would believe was the opinion that I created for myself. So when it came down to me eating raw foods, a day for me would be sometimes salads. I could do salads all day. Sometimes I could do fruit all day. Sometimes I could mix it up. It all depends on how I feel, you know.
Mhm.
But for me, I just got to a place to where I try not to get so caught up on what people would think about what I was doing, just more so much of caught up on what I was doing because I'm seeing the benefits for my body.
Yeah, I feel like that's the best way
Yeah.
to be in any area of our life, you know?
Yeah, but yeah, some days, like I was saying earlier, some days I would just do all fruit. Some days salads. It all depends. I guess it would be my mood.
Mhm.
Some days, you know, I might wake up in the morning, might just have a big fruit bowl. So it all depends, and you know.
And would you ever have moments of cravings? Like, oh, let me go through this drive-through or go get this. And like, how do you like snap yourself
Oh
out of
yeah,
that?
absolutely, all the time. But it goes back to again changing your mindset. So when I do have cravings for something bad, I always remember go back to how I felt before.
hmm
And I don't want to go back to that again.
Yeah,
And
that's
that's
it.
not to say, I'm not gonna tell you no lie and say I haven't had a setback because I did have a setback once or twice this year
hmm
in doing this, but
hmm
I didn't like the way my body felt.
That's the thing. That's
And I was
exactly
like,
why.
hey, I
Yeah.
can't do this again.
No, that's exactly why I do it because I eat good to feel good. I feel like
Hmm.
if you can like I feel like for a lot of people, if they can have the patience to hang in there and get through
Hmm.
the detox and withdrawal of like the crap that they're used to and get to a
Hmm.
point where they just eat really clean and see what it feels like to actually feel good, then I feel
Hmm.
like in a lot of cases that then becomes their effortless drive and motivation. And that's the case for me. That's
Yeah.
why I do it because I feel so good. And there
Yeah.
was like when I was in Miami, not this past time, but the time before a few months ago, I had a cooked meal for the first time in forever. I don't even know when it was. And even just a clean cooked meal, because I'm used to eating like all raw and like so clean.
Yeah.
It was like crazy how different I felt. So I'm like, I don't want to feel that way again. I'm just not going to eat it ever again. Like it's you eat good to feel good, really, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And another thing you know, for me, I had to change my circle. And what I mean by that, try to get around people who doing what you're doing, and that keeps me motivated. So watching your videos all the time keeps me motivated. Looking at Shane, like I was saying earlier, the young lady Medina Henry, looking at her videos as well. I try to just really encourage myself by watching you guys' video, and that continue to keep me on the path.
Yeah, that's a great point.
Yeah,
And the community you had, the connection.
yeah,
I think it's so important. It's like, and it's good you took that social media break. I did that last year. I took a month off of
hmm,
social media. And it was like I did it last May. It was like the best month I had all year, I
yeah,
swear. And I
yeah,
decided if I do consume any content like on Audible or anywhere, it's only going to be positive content. So
yeah,
I think you're right. I think you have to not be afraid to let go of relationships that don't serve you
yeah,
anymore, don't add value, and just focus on things that serve you. It's like I just interviewed G Bryant in Miami and he was saying that
yeah,
too. He was like,
yeah,
he's awesome. He had
yeah.
some
He's one of
points.
my favorites.
Yeah, I can't wait to post
Yeah,
that interview. If it's up right now,
yeah,
I'll link it down below because it might be already up before this one. But
yeah,
he said, like, go through your phone, your contacts, and see if
yeah,
there's people that aren't adding value. Like, don't be
yeah,
afraid to let them go. And I think it's so true. And my circle, my circle, social circle has changed completely since I went raw. Because before I used
yeah,
to go out with them a couple times a week, pizza, beer, get drunk, like
yeah,
so your
yeah,
friends are gonna change, right? When your
yeah,
life becomes green juice and watermelon juice.
yeah,
And you
yeah,
have to not be
yeah,
afraid for it. Like I would not trade my life for that for anything. And it's
yeah,
just like, yeah, you lose some things. You lose some of those relationships and lose some things, but what you gain is just worth so much more. And I think it's just always important we prioritize ourselves. And people are always going to judge you no matter what you're doing.
yeah.
That's what I've realized coming onto Instagram and YouTube. Like you're
Hmm.
never gonna make everyone happy. It's actually literally
Hmm.
impossible. So you may as well do what's true to you and live your best life and make yourself
Yeah,
happy, right?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That's so
And
true.
I have to ask too, were you supplementing? I know people will ask that. Have you supplemented at all, like B12 or this or that, or no? And has your blood work's been fine, but
Yeah, I supplemented a lot last year before I really got on this journey. This year, maybe in the beginning, I did for a moment, but I stopped. I would hear people say, well, you need B12 and you need this. But my focus was really allowing the body to heal itself.
mhm.
And not to say that I won't go back to supplements, but right now, my journey is to just continue to allow the body to heal. And
Yeah.
when I got my blood work came back almost perfect. And that was without supplements, you
Amazing. Yeah,
know.
that's
Yeah.
amazing.
So that was only because of, like I said, because of the juicing and the raw foods.
Yeah. And then I think, I
Um,
mean, you can see over time if you stay on this
yeah,
path, just keep checking and
yeah.
see if it changes. Do you think you will stay on this path?
Yeah, I mean, it's for me, it's day to day.
Mhm.
I hear people say, "Hey, I'm gonna do this for the rest of my life." Then I hear some people say, "Well, I might go to pescatarian, I might go to just cook food." For me, Jillian, to be honest with you, I don't know. It's day to day, but I
Yeah.
love the way I feel right now. So as of today, yes, that's the goal. and hopefully 10 years from now, I'll still be on this journey. But for me,
Yeah.
it's day to day, and it's going back again to continuing to renew your mind. And for me, I've been on this journey now, right at 6 months consistently. So every day I tell myself that you can do this. You're gonna continue to do this. So yeah,
Wow.
that's
And I'm guessing you do feel a big difference in your mind, right? You feel a big difference
I
in the
do.
mindset? Yeah.
Yeah, I do. And it's so crazy because I used to go to bed so late and wake up late. Now I go to bed early, like around maybe 10:30, 11 o'clock. I'm getting sleepy. But I'm waking up every morning now about 5:45, 6 o'clock. And this without an alarm. So it's like now my body jumping up and I have so much energy. And a lot of times if the weather is good, I'm going out and walking, trying to, just exercise or do something. But yeah, I'm feeling good. I am.
See? Yeah, it's like I say, it's because I feel like one positive habit leads to another, right?
Yeah,
Another. All these habits add up and they create your life.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And okay, we have to talk about weight because people will ask how much weight do you know how much you've lost total? So what it's been about 6 months of juicing?
I'm sorry. I
It's
started
been
off
about
at
6 months, right?
yeah. So I started off at 309 January 1st, and now I'm down about 240 even as of this morning.
Wow,
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah, yeah,
Amazing.
yeah,
That's amazing. And that's so good because, I interviewed Chris Beat Cancer. I don't know if you saw that.
yeah. I follow
Yeah.
Chris. Yeah,
And he was talking about like excess weight and obesity, and he was saying that obesity is the number 2 cause of cancer right now. He was
yeah,
saying. Yeah, so I think it's good. It's like because it's not even about looks, it's just about feeling good, being healthy, and you feel better, right?
yeah. I do feel a whole lot better. I have about maybe 40 more pounds to lose, but I'm right now with the weight loss. It's a day-to-day thing for me.
Mhm.
I'm not in a big rush because the weight is falling off. But I'm just everything for me right now is it's at a normal pace right now. I'll say that.
And I like that. I like your attitude
Yeah,
about everything. I like how you're
yeah,
like not restricting yourself. I don't think as
yeah,
humans we like to feel restricted, and I like how you're just like, I don't know, I might be doing this, I might not. Like it's a good attitude. I like it.
yeah. And and I have to credit Medina again. That's why I keep going back to her because she was more of my mentor and counselor through this journey. But one thing she would always tell me is to never deprive yourself. And that's my mindset now. Don't deprive myself. So, if I feel like juicing today, I might juice a couple of days. If I feel like eating fruits one day, I'm going to do fruits. If I want to do salads, I do salads, but I'm not going to deprive myself.
Mhm.
I'm going to continue to enjoy my body heal itself. And that's what's going on right now.
I love
Yeah.
it. Amazing. Well
Yeah.
said. I just love the way you speak. It's so amazing.
Mhm.
And okay, have you found it to be crazy expensive? Because I know some people think it's crazy expensive. To me, it's not because if I compare it to my old lifestyle where I was clubbing and eating out all
Yeah.
the time and all these
Yeah.
things, it's not. But what's been the situation for you?
I don't find it expensive. And the reason why I say that, because there were times I would go to a restaurant and I could spend $100 or 150 on food,
Hmm.
appetizers, getting something to drink, your your main dish. So now my mind changed and I can spend 150 at the farmer's market and get the things that I need and juice it.
Yep, exactly.
So that's how I'm looking at it. I mean, if I could go to a nice restaurant maybe 3 or 4 times a week and spend $400 a week on food
Hmm.
that was really damaging my body,
Hmm.
I can do the same thing at the farmer's market and watch my body heal.
Yeah, I love it. And if someone was
So
to ask you, Kevin, I want to start this lifestyle, how do I get started? What advice would you give them?
I would go back to, oh, I would encourage anybody to do it because I do have a lot of people that come to me and say, hey, I want to do this. What should I do? And I tell them, just do it. But I always tell everybody to change your mindset. Once you change your mindset, I believe you can do this. I know sometimes we look at the videos and say, hey, I can do this right away. And then we'll jump on. And, after a couple of days, we get discouraged,
Hmm.
and then we'll jump off and, we'll go back to old habits. And I know that because that was me. Like I said, think I was watching your videos in 2021 and 2022, and I would see someone on your video and I get encouraged and motivated and say, hey, I can do this. And then I jump off. But
Hmm.
once I got to that place of changing my mindset and renewing my mind and thinking different and putting that why before me, then things start changing.
I love it.
Yeah. So I would tell you,
Amazing.
yeah, go for it. Anybody who want to do this, go for it. Your health is important, but ask yourself, why am I doing this? For me, like I said earlier, my why was I have four daughters. I want to be able to walk my daughters down the aisle when they get married. I want to be able to enjoy life with my grandchildren. That's
Hmm.
my why.
You're
So
right.
because my why, my mind started changing. And also, I know this may sound silly to some, but put something before you, put a picture before you, see yourself looking a certain kind of way. And for me, I would see myself looking a certain kind of way. I would see myself looking a certain kind of way. I saw myself as a thinner man. I saw myself wearing the kind of clothes that I always wanted to wear.
Hmm.
So I went from wearing size 48 in jeans to now at a 36 in jeans.
Wow.
Yeah, and I saw myself wearing 4X and 3X shirts and now wearing a 1X shirt.
It's
Yeah,
incredible. See, you're
yeah,
right. It's not silly because it's like it's the law of attraction. It's a law of the
it
universe
is.
and it's manifesting. And so
Yeah,
many people do that. We're creators of our own life, right? So I think
yeah,
that's just a very important key and a very important piece of the puzzle to creating our best life and creating change is visualizing it and feeling it and
yeah,
thinking about what we want and putting most of our attention towards what we want and not what we don't want because we're going to
yeah.
get more of whatever we put our attention to and whatever we focus on, right?
That's right. That's right. So yeah, if anybody out there and they want to start this journey, go forward. But have your whys before you. Why are you doing this?
Mhm.
Make that a priority. And again, like I was saying earlier, you're not just changing your body, you're changing your mind as well.
Mhm.
So much is cleansing in you. You're not just having a cellular cleanse or a body cleanse. No, you're having a mind change as well. So much in my life and my body is cleansed. My mind is cleansed. The way I think about things now, not so quick to get angry like I used to.
Yeah.
And a lot of that comes from the juice and it comes from the
Me
raw
too,
food.
like, I used to get the
Yeah,
road rage, everything,
yeah,
like, it's now I'll be like, I never get mad in the car, even if somebody is,
yeah,
like, close to hitting me. I'm like, "Oh, it's
yeah,
okay, whatever."
yeah,
No, not to say I never get angry, though, I do still get
yeah,
angry.
yeah,
I mean, I wish that the lifestyle could completely remove, like, the negative emotions, it doesn't
yeah,
we're human, we still have those emotions, but
yeah,
it definitely is a huge, huge difference.
yeah.
Well, this has been awesome. I could talk to you all day, and I'm just so
Thank
happy
you.
about your transformation. I can't wait to see, like, look how much more positive and positive it's gotten for you all the time. Imagine where you'll be
Yeah,
6 months from now, right? That's what I'm
yeah,
thinking. We'll have to have
yeah,
you on at your like, if you stay on or no matter what, at 1 year, we should have you on in 6 more months
yeah,
or whatever. I would love that.
yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, and
It's
if
day
there's
to
any
day. Of course, I want to stay on, but it's day to day.
yeah,
So
of
every day
course.
I'm telling myself I can do this. So
Yeah.
yeah,
And you have to do what feels right for you. I mean, I'm all for
yeah,
everyone following their path. And if you feel like there's anything else you want to share before we end off, anything I missed that you want to share with everybody about your journey, experience, or anything at all, or any advice, then absolutely go ahead. Or if you feel like we've wrapped up, then that's fine too. And if you want to let anybody know where they can find you, then do so, and I'll link it down below.
well, right now I haven't started no IG page or Facebook page. Not right now. I feel
Yeah.
like I am going to do that. That's part of my goals for this year to be able to encourage people to, just take this journey, see your body change. So I guess maybe in another month or two, I'd send you a message, and
Yeah.
maybe we can do that. But I would just encourage anybody again to just find your why. Just stay motivated, stay encouraged, and if this the journey you want to take, go for it.
Hmm.
And allow your body to change. Allow your body to heal itself. That's what the body is made to do, is to heal itself. And change your thinking about food. I don't look at food now in a negative way. I look at food now as medicine. So now, if I feel like, I'm getting sick or something is coming on my body, let me go back to my medicine. So
I
the
love it.
medicine for me is the medicine that I believe God created for us in the beginning, that was in the garden, which was fruit and vegetables. So allow your body to heal. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. Yay. I'm so happy for you. It's so
Thank you.
amazing. It is medicine. It's so true. And I know you're juicing now. I can't remember if you said how long you're gonna go on this round. Oh, you don't know yet, right? That's right.
You know, I told myself I'm definitely gonna do at least 30 days, but after 30 days, if I feel like I need to keep going, I will.
Mm-hmm.
So right now, I started this past Monday on the 19th of June. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I'm just gonna keep going.
Yeah,
So after
awesome.
30 days, I might feel like, yeah, I want to do 60,
It
maybe
makes you
90,
feel
but
good juicing. It is
yeah,
worth the work. It is worth the money. It makes you feel freaking amazing. I love it.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Well, thanks, Kevin. This has been really
Thank you.
awesome. Yeah, I've loved having you on. We have to have you back. You're just so chill, so calm, such good energy. I feel like such
Yeah,
good aura energy around you. And I
thank you
just,
so much.
I'm so happy for all these changes.
And I want to say this before I end it, and it goes back to the law of attraction. I've been watching your channel for real for like since 2021 and 2022. And I told myself last year I was going to be on your show.
No way. I love
I'm
it. I
serious
love
before you
that.
even reach out. And I was
Wow.
like, you know what? When I lose weight and, get on this journey and this path, I'm going to be on Gillian's show one day.
Wow, you're amazing. You're powerful. That's
Yeah,
so cool. That's so amazing. I love that.
yeah,
And yeah, I
yeah,
saw you. Yeah, because I'm in the group. I saw you in the
yeah,
group. And then I saw Shane post about you too. And I was like, yeah, you know what? Kevin, this transformation is amazing. I gotta ask him to come on.
yeah,
I'm so happy you said yes.
yeah. Thank you.
Wow. What's next for you, right? Manifest a lottery win. You'll be on Timothy Schultz channel next. This is amazing. I love
Yeah,
it. Yeah. Okay. Well, this has been awesome. And yeah, to the viewers, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Go join the group we're in. I'll link it down below and I'll put everything down below as well. I love you guys. I hope you enjoyed this. Be sure to subscribe and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.